Hello ladies and gentlemen, Spirit of the Law here. This video is all about what information the different alarm sounds in Age of Empires are exactly trying to tell us and how they work. As you probably know, there's two main different ones. And with two other special cases to talk about. These alarms can be very useful when you're playing, especially by assigning go to the last notification to a hotkey and using that to quickly jump to the location on the map where the last sound came from. Then again, they can also be irritating, especially if you're not sure what they're trying to tell you and have lots of things happening all over the map. I think I have an idea of what the difference between the first two types of alarms might be heading into this video, but just looking it up for my own interest's sake, I could find nothing on this topic online except for a few people asking how to turn it off. Maybe I'm the only one that cares, but I suspect there's a few of us out there that are interested in knowing how it all works. So let's head to the scenario editor and learn about it in more detail than we'd ever have to know. Let's check it out. First of all, if you're curious about where the files are, maybe you want to make one of the alarms as your ringtone, for example, they're not in with either the scenario sound files or the regular sound file locations in the game. They're with a smaller group of sound files in the folder called Interface. Now let's get the other two obvious alarms out of the way. The first is the conversion one. I won't insult your intelligence, it just happens when your unit is getting converted. Pretty straightforward. The other has a snarling wolf sound combined with one of the usual alarms. But is that wolf noise just from the sound effect of the wolf in the game, or is it part of the alarm itself? Well, we hear a wolf sound in the alarm even if it's a different animal attacking the villager. The exception is if it's a boar, which is kind of too bad, since a little alarm when you get attacked by a boar would definitely help you not forget villagers when you're luring. The iron boar, though, gives the wolf alarm, and to my surprise, causes the villagers to fluctuate their sex. So yeah, I didn't really sign up for quantum theory in this video though, so we're gonna have to move on from that. Basically, if you hear an alarm with a wolf sound mixed in, it means some kind of wild animal is attacking you. I did some playing around for the next two alarms, which are the main two that you hear. The first one sounds like a horn or trumpet and suggests to me that something is attacking, whereas the second one sounds like a defensive sort of warning bell, and the feeling I have listening to it is very negative, so that's already giving a few clues. My first thought is that it might be if your unit is initiating an attack, you get the battle horn sound as a charge into battle. We try it out, and if I'm attacking, that does seem to be the sound. On the other hand, if my unit is standing around and is attacked first, which do I hear? Okay, so scratch the first idea. Maybe the horn is for military units that are entering combat somehow, and the warning bell is when non-military units start fighting. It certainly seems to be the case, and we get an alternate alarm when a villager is under attack. Same thing with an outpost. But then, what about this? Why does my trade cart make the attack horn sound? The monk also gives the military sound. So the only unit so far with the warning bell is the villager. Trying some other buildings, they all give the same warning bell sound, even if the buildings fire back. It's kind of looking like the bell sound is for non-military and the horn is for military, with the trade cart being a weird exception. In case you're wondering, the wolf alarm still overrides the military unit alarm though. What about some other weird situations like attacking your own units? Nothing happens. Alternately, what if your ally hits you with some stray onager shots? Again, nothing. It seems like the mechanism is just simply when an enemy lands a hit on you, you get either alarm, depending on the unit, but the warning bell sound is the one that's more important to be listening for, since it means your buildings or villagers are under attack. So that's the end of it, right? Case closed. Well, of course not. Let's go a bit deeper. We know if a melee unit starts a fight, we get the alarm, but what about ranged units? Well, apparently you don't if the other unit doesn't fight back. If the unit does fight back, we get the alarm only if our unit is hit, though sometimes it takes 2 hits to get it to go. What if our tower starts a fight? Same thing, no sound when it's firing, but we do get the normal economy alarm when it's hit. What about if villagers who normally get the bell sound are the ones attacking? Same thing, they don't get the trumpet alarm, even with Spanish villagers. But now here's the start of some real nuts and bolts. If I have a group of units attack together at roughly the same time, I only get one alarm. There's clearly some kind of reset period where the alarm can't go off again for nearby units. The question is this on a timer, or is it all the units within a certain radius can't activate the alarm twice? Well, let's see. Here I'm sending in units from outside the battle and the alarm only goes off once. These units are coming from quite a ways away outside of each other's line of sight, but there's no alarm. That suggests there's some kind of timer going on. This idea certainly seems to have some support now. It looks like you need a period of non-fighting for the alarm to reset. But how long is that period? Well, after a few tries with delaying the attack, it looks like if the delay in fighting between your last unit dying and the new one starting is less than 10 seconds, there's no alarm. After 10 seconds of break or more, you get a new alarm. But how far is that range? We all know we can get multiple alarms on the map at once if they're far enough apart. How big does the game consider the battle area to be, so to speak? And it's easy to see that if we have units nearby, the alarm suppresses other alarms to units in the same area that start fighting. Figuring out how big the game considers the battlefield might even ultimately uncover info about the requirements to get those cryptic battle events in the achievements. Well, if I play around with it, it's 10 tiles minimum distance from the first fight before you start to get 2 alarm sounds. And mapping it out a bit, it's clearly a 10 tile range around the central fighting. Anything outside of that radius, shown as grass and desert in this example, is 2 alarms, so the game thinks of it as 2 different battles. Now, you can fool this system a bit if your unit is moving through an area and being attacked. A scout, for instance, might get hit and then travel more than 9 tiles away in under 10 seconds, where any second hit would also set off an alarm. So let's say after all of that, you want to modify the file to hear a different sound in-game. If you want, you can remove the file, maybe cut it and put it somewhere else on your computer, and the game won't be able to find it and play it anymore, so no more alarm. Likewise, you could put a different file in there with the name 30515, and it'll play when the alarm is supposed to. I don't recommend playing around with your game files, especially if you plan to go online, but sound files seem to be the safest thing to play around with if you're not sure what you're doing. So that's everything I could work out about the alarms. Hopefully it'll mean a little bit more to you next time that you hear them. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.